Hi guys, Mike here with you at Gilley's Place, the place where I talk about all things Gilley's. Remember to go to our website and check out gilleys.com and look at all the product that we have there online. Uh, Today I want to talk about the F33A that I have purchased about 3 months ago. I have been working on it quite a bit, but I'm past that stage and I've been training in it in order to be able to fly it. The insurance company required a certain number of hours, that type of thing. And I'm past that, so I'm going to start flying quite a bit now. And I'll try to post some things on what we're doing and how it's working and the equipment that's in the plane and how it operates. So let's talk about the trip that I made. I went to Branson, Missouri on Tuesday morning. We left at 9 o'clock and we got there at 11:48, which was exactly the amount of time that it said it was going to take us to get there, which surprised me. That's 2 hours and 42 minutes, and we arrived right on time. On the way down there, we actually had 3 people on board. Takeoff was normal, even with 3 people. Didn't notice the third person in the plane at all, which surprised me a lot. I really expected it to give me a little bit of change in my CG, but I didn't notice it at all. So could be because I was full of fuel. I'm not sure exactly, but that's basically how I always leave when I go cross country. I always do have full tanks. So full tanks, 3 people on board. We had a 4-knot tailwind, and we climbed to 9,000 feet. Now, it took us a little while to get to 9,000 because they kept us down below some of the Southwest Airlines stuff that was going on. But once we got up to altitude, I cruised at about 160 to 167. I do know that I leaned it out, and I was actually using about 13 and a half gallons an hour, somewhere around that. Seemed like maybe it was 13. It's really hard to tell with the gauges I have in there. You kind of have to estimate where you're at on that. But we flew both up there and back to Houston with 20 inches of manifold pressure and about 2,300 RPM, and that's about 65% power on that airplane. And it seemed like it would perform. It seemed like it performed perfectly with those settings, and we leaned it out to get it to burn, like I said, approximately 13 gallons an hour. Now, I set it according to the there's a gauge over there that I have to set it to get the peak lean capability, and I can't remember exactly what it's called right now. Anyway, it gives me my head temperature if I'm not mistaken, but that's what you're basing it off of in this plane. I don't have the digital monitor that gives me every cylinder temp that I had in the Mooney. The Mooney gave me all of that information, and I was able to basically lean out according to the head temperatures on all of the cylinders. And number 4 always gave me a problem in the Mooney. I don't know about this one. It's not giving me that information, so I can't tell you that for sure. But anyway, we got up there. We stayed about 3 hours. I used approximately 40 gallons of fuel. And on the way back, there was only 2 of us in a return flight. So when we took off, it seemed like it took off exactly the same as it did with 3 people in it. I didn't notice any change whatsoever in the CG. On the way back, we actually hit some weather, and we had to divert just a little bit around it. It wasn't a big deal. It added an extra 10 minutes to our flight, but we did go around it, and it did seem to take a little bit longer because of that. Now, I also had a headwind coming back. We had a 4-knot headwind coming back, and that tended to slow us down some. So it took us 2 hours and 52 minutes to return, which is only 10 minutes longer. But we took off at 4 o'clock. We got there at 7. We got here at 7. And despite the fact we hit some weather, we were able to still climb out like normal, and we cruised at about 150 to 155 knots at 10,000 feet. Like I said, we leaned it out at 65%. Now you can go up and push it, and I probably could get a little bit better speed out of the airplane, but I wasn't in a big hurry, and I actually didn't want to use any extra fuel I didn't need to use. So 10,000 feet, 13 gallons, I was really happy with that. And I did use the autopilot both directions, and it performed perfectly, just like it's supposed to. I had the Garmin set to 30 minutes on fuel tank changes, and we changed the fuel tank every 30 minutes, and that kept the plane balanced for the whole trip. So overall, I'm very pleased with the plane. No hiccups anywhere. It performed beautifully, and very happy, very pleased with this plane. And I'd heard a lot of great comments about how well I was going to like it, and until I actually got in it to be able to use it. I like the fact that it's roomy. I wasn't like rubbing elbows with the co-pilot, and in the Mooney, it's like riding in a sports car, so you're pretty tight in that thing, and that's fine. I mean, that's the way that plane's built, and you know what? It performed beautifully too. So not complaining about that plane at all. I'm just saying this one is a little more comfortable to me, and there's a little bit user-friendly type things in this one. The way I feel like it, the way I have it set up. So I'm real happy with that. So remember, go to Gillies.com, check out the product we have online, and don't forget, I'm Mike, and I talk about all things Gillies when possible. So I'll keep you updated on the F33 as I progress in it, and after today, I'll be flying alone, and I'll get a chance to do some videos in the plane, and I'll talk about some of the equipment and how I set it up. So look forward to that video, and I'll talk to you next time on Gillies Place.